Inflation in the UK has finally fallen to the Bank of England's 2% target. Now, this is a significant moment ahead of the UK election after inflation peaked at 11% in late 2022.
What's inflation got to do with the price of fish? Well, in Grimsby, they know the answer. Sky News' target town is the historic centre of the food processing industry. As inflation finally returns to the Bank of England's target, here they say the statistics and the slab tell the same story.
In terms of fish, prices have actually dropped over the last couple of years. We had the container crisis after COVID when stuff that we import from the Far East went through the roof, and then that's come back to normal, if not below what it was pre-COVID, and fresh prices have stayed steady.
Falling food inflation is welcome for the hospitality trade, battered by COVID and cost pressures on businesses and their customers that the boss of one of Britain's biggest pub chains told me will linger.
Energy cost, food cost, drink cost, labour cost. These are all costs that have been volatile over the last couple of years. And inflation doesn't go up or come down in straight lines either. So, we're seeing some areas come down, which is encouraging. But the impact of the last 2 to 3 years is that the cost base of running a small business is significantly higher.
Predictably on the campaign trail, the Chancellor toasted success, while the woman who wants to replace him said consumers are still drowning their sorrows.
Having inherited inflation that was higher than nearly any other major economy, it is now lower, and that means the difficult decisions we've taken have paid off.
I don't think the economy has turned a corner. Many people are still really struggling because although inflation is back at target and that is welcome, of course it doesn't mean that any of those price rises have been undone.
On the front in Cleethorpes, the political debate is less important than the pound in people's pockets.
£3.60.
There you go.
No, we just start with that one.
Inflation's coming down. We're supposed to be feeling like we turned the corner. Is that how it feels?
Is it really? No, not at all.
Cost of living still rising.
Inflation is rising.
They need to put wages up. We're all support workers and our economy is disgraceful what we get paid.
Disgraceful.
Are you feeling things getting any easier?
Not really, no. Not at all. Everything's still as expensive as it is. If it goes down in the next 3 or 4 months, I'll retract that statement and I'll say fair enough, I was wrong. But I don't think it will.
Falling inflation is good news, but it will take time before households feel the benefit of this change in the economic weather. Underlying services inflation is still quite high, which means the Bank of England's unlikely to cut interest rates until September. And prices of clothes, of food, of rents are all still 20% higher than they were 3 years ago. If this is the turning of the economic tide, it may have come too late to change the course of the election.